Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the next event in our series of events. My name is Raymond Miller. I'm the Undergraduate Recruitment Officer for Northern Ireland here at Queen's. And you've joined us this morning for our Careers, Employability and Skills event. So thank you very much for joining us. We have a number of people in the room here, as you can see, and I'm going to hand over to them to introduce themselves in just a moment. But first, let me just make you aware of a couple of other events that are upcoming in the next few weeks. So this Thursday, we have a webinar from our Disability and Wellbeing team. So if that was something you would be interested in hearing, you can sign up for that today. If you just type Queen's virtual events into Google, you will find the link, and also we will send you a link to join to that after this webinar. The following week, on Tuesday, the 12th of May, we will have a webinar from our Students' Union. And then on Thursday, the 14th, myself and my colleague, Radhika Longbottom, will be discussing what student life is like for you at Queen's. And just at this point, I'll just briefly hand over to Radhika to introduce herself to you.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Raymond. My name is Radhika Longbottom, and much like Raymond, I am the GB Recruitment Officer. I work in England, in the southeast of England, and I also cover Scotland, Wales, and the islands. So my role really is to go out and visit schools, meet prospective students, as well as help applicants in their pursuit of education at Queen's. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague, Emma.
Hiya, my name's Emma Lennox. I'm a careers consultant at Queen's. I used to be a Queen's student myself, so it's lovely to be back in the career service. I've worked in a variety of different sectors before I came here. So it's maybe very well placed to work with international students and with particularly the Faculty of Humanities as well. I'll pass over to Rory.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rory Mcgowan. I'm a Development Officer within the Global Opportunities team, and my role alongside my colleagues within the team is to encourage and support as many students to take up international study or work abroad programs. And I pass you on to my colleague, Sandra.
Hello, I'm Sandra Scannell, and I head up the Employer Engagement team in Careers, Employability and Skills. And our remit is to access and outreach to employers to help the students, number one, gain experience through their studies, and also to get graduate jobs at the end of it.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the introductions. That's brilliant. So after our colleagues speak to you, there's going to be a Q&A session at the end. So we will make you aware of that, and you can ask any questions to any of our panelists here this morning. What I will say is that the questions are private, so feel free to ask anything and we will do our best to answer those. But I'm just going to hand over now to Emma, who is going to start the presentation. Thank you.
Hi guys, welcome. As I say, I used to be a Queen's student myself, so it's lovely to be back and talking to you guys about what it's actually like to be a student, and also from the other side as well. Queen's Careers, Employability and Skills, our main mission statement is to inspire and empower career success for all our students. And we really do mean that, okay? We are available and accessible no matter where you're at. So if you have extra needs, if you have things that you're in trouble with, we're still there. We work with other departments and we work with students as well. And we ask, what do you guys need and how can we best help you? We are based on campus and very much online at the moment. And we're there to support you in whatever stage of your career journey you're at. So you might be coming to Queen's with a very clear idea of this is exactly what I want to do. Brilliant. We can help you and we can get you closer to that employer. We can get you with skilled up so you'll be able to do so much better when you get to that interview. Now, you may be like the other 95% who come to Queen's who don't know exactly what they want to do. We're there for you guys as well, okay? So maybe you're just exploring, maybe you're just interested in a subject, and we can help you try and narrow that down and see the best way you can move forward. So, why is all this important? Why are we even talking about careers and after university whenever you're just about to start? It's really important in first year because we don't want you to miss out. That's the big thing. So many people come to me after graduation or in third year saying, I wish I knew. So we're telling you now, there's so much that you can actually get involved with. Do engage with careers, employability and skills. When you register in your first week, you'll be encouraged to log on to My Future. It's a central program we use, and it brings all the events and things to you. Some opportunities are only available to first years. Okay, so that's why we want you to find out about them now, so that, again, that you don't miss out. It's a good time as well to think ahead to second and third year. When I was at Queen's, I spent part of my second year in Denmark as an international student. Absolutely brilliant. Now, I did not decide in November that I was going to go in January. I had to start planning that the year before. So I spent first year planning when I was going to go away in second year. So it is really important to start and think about some of these things. Getting some sort of work experience or internship, that can take time as well, okay? Make the most of this time that you've got with the resources, with the wealth of knowledge that we have, that we can actually get you closer to where you want to be. It's also a good time to think about some of the skills, strengths that you have, but also some of the gaps. So you might know that you're extremely good with communication and teamwork, but maybe your leadership skills aren't quite there. That's where we can come in and help. So what do employers actually want? This is the thing. Careers, employability and skills works really closely with employers to build a strong, up-to-date knowledge of the current labour market. We work with employers, we get employers to come in as well, so that everything we do is relevant. They tell us what they want in future recruits, and then we try and match that to make sure the students are skilled to that level. There is no point us running any information sessions on how to use a fax machine. Some of you might not know what that is. It's a really old method for sending paper. But they do want students now who are going to be good with IT and can hit the ground running. So that's really important. So we work with employers to figure out what they want. Then we try to get you those skills. So what are these skills, and how do you prove to an employer that you have them? So what we've done is put these into 5 main categories, okay? Don't get overwhelmed with all the different ones. Once you split them down, they do make sense. So for example, the first one is cognitive, your intellectual skills, okay? Can you prove problem solving? Can you prove applying subject knowledge and understanding to an employer? This can be depending on your subject level. If I go to the dentist, I'm really pretty sure I want that dentist to have a degree in dentistry. That's absolutely fine. But I studied English and history of art at Queen's. I have yet to be asked to analyse King Lear or Monet in a work situation. Absolutely gutting. I have an essay good to go, but nobody has asked me yet. But I have been asked to take a huge amount of information, condense it down. I've been asked to present to people. I've been asked to write a lot of reports. I write a lot of reports. All that stuff I learned within my degree. So you have skills that you learned through that you apply to work. You need to be able to present that to an employer to tell them. Professional attitudes, so things like your communication skills, your teamwork, interpersonal skills, and your leadership skills. So some people might be brilliant in a team because you've done stuff like that at school. But leadership skills, how do you prove that? So that's where we'll try and create opportunities for you to do this. Technical skills, things like using modern technology and using IT. An employer doesn't mean, they don't want you to be an IT genius, but they do want to make sure you're not going to break the computer on the first day on the job. Business organizational skills, commercial awareness. Do you know your sector? Do you know competitors? Do you know what's happening at the moment? Stuff like that is really important. And that's why we work with employers, because they're the ones on the ground who can tell us and we can pass it on to students. Cultural awareness is getting so important. Things like proficiency in foreign languages, cultural awareness, cultural intelligence, especially as things are going more online and more global. These are things that we can help you practice with as well. So where do I even start? The one thing we will ask you to do when you join in first year is to log on to My Future. This is the central careers management system that we use, okay? It has some things you will find really key. It has jobs on it. So these will include the graduate jobs, the big ones at the end that you want to apply for, placements as well. Some people will want to go and get some experience in a particular area. Can I just say, placements are so important. The best and worst week of my life was the week that I went to spend in a primary school doing teaching. I hated every minute of it. And it made me realize that I was not going to study English and then be a teacher. okay? That was not for me. And that's the point of doing these things and getting the experience of realizing, you know, what do you like? What do you not like? Is what you thought a job was going to be like actually realistic? Okay, so that's where you find these things at university and get that experience. We also advertise summer work, part-time jobs, Queen's on-campus jobs. We employ quite a lot of students on campus as well. So that's really useful for working around seminars and working around your lectures. We have appointments, okay? So you can make an appointment for a one-to-one appointment with a careers consultant. There are 6 of us working at the moment, and we are faculty-led as well, so we will be specific to your subject. If you have problems, you're not making sense of it on the internet, come in and talk to us, all right? We will calm you down and we will talk through it and we will figure out the best way to go. We also have loads of events going on. So this is where you need to register to make sure that you're getting events that are relevant to you. So we have the big careers fairs, the big recruitment fairs. We will have development workshops as well. We will have employability programs. We will have employer panels. We will have a lot of employers online. Okay, and they will come on to campus and they will engage with our students. And it's a lovely thing for students to actually go and talk to the employer after, introduce themselves and start a network. So that's on an app as well, so you can access it through your phone, and the instructions are on our website. So if you get stuck with anything, you can come back to see that as well. So where does careers fit into all this, okay? It can be really tricky for students to gain access to certain skills or certain employers while balancing academic life. And we understand that. If you're interested in a particular sector, it can be hard to get experience in that sector, okay? So we'll provide opportunities for students to explore and develop the skills that employers are looking for. So some of these will be skill and sector specific. So for example, I'm involved in the media program. If a student is interested in working in that area of communications and of media, we will take you to those employers. We will introduce you. We will give you experience to put on your CV of creating a communication channel. Students who have done that program have used that experience to go on and are now working with bigger employers, with Sky and with BBC. For example, stock market challenge. That might be something totally new to you, but you're interested in it. That's a lovely thing to put on your CV and it's specific. The Careers in Law Insight program. We will take you as a group to lawyers, to companies working in Belfast, working here at the moment. You can chat to them. You can network with them. You can put your name out there, find out what area of law you're interested in. It's such a useful program and it gives a real good insight of what it's actually like to work in that particular area. The Biosciences Workplace Study Tour. Again, we will take you to the place to see what is it actually like working in that lab, working in that office, working with those people, and to see people who are excited about that sector and what they're working in, and it gives a really good insight. So those are just examples of some of the really specific programs that we offer. Other programs are for all subjects and all levels. These are really good for getting used to working with people that you would never have met if they were, because they're not on your course. It's all different levels and everything. One of the best ones of these is Insight into Management. This is actually so much fun. And I'm only saying that because I've done this so many times now and it's been different every time. So it's 3 days. And what we do is we get a group of students together and we match them with employers. So we get employer representatives to come in and you're put in teams and you're all mixed up. So it's all different levels and you are given a series of tasks and it is brilliant. It is really good fun to see how teams come together and to see all the different things that they come up with. The ideas are nuts. Some of them are absolutely brilliant. And it's very fast paced and we interrupt you constantly. And if you want to feel what it's like to be in management, that is the course to do. Okay, so it's very real life. We give you situations and scenarios. We're able to tell you what actually happened in real life after. But this is a really good way to get skills such as commercial awareness, teamwork, management, leadership, problem solving, presentation skills. We will push everybody out of their comfort zone and the responses after are brilliant. People say, look, I got so much out of that. I would never have had the opportunity to gain those skills.
So right now it's actually, I'm really excited, but I know some of the students are really nervous because they're just wanting to actually get in their stalls, set up everything, and just get pitching and stuff in practice. But I know everything's getting set up. So they'll have stalls and tables, and they bring their own materials that they've brought from their own budget. Of course you need to budget in this as well, which is not one of my strong points anyway. So everyone's just kind of setting up for tonight. There's a big innovation fair and there'll be judges. There's an auction coming up as well, so everything is structured in a way that it's building up to the innovation fair, which it was a really great vibe last year, and the students that are taking part this year, they're really eager, competitive and excited about this evening.
520, going once, going twice, 550, 550, 550 going once, going twice, jump. Yes!
I've been speaking to a lot of the students and getting their feedback and asking them to sum up the course in 3 words, and the word fun. It's came into it interesting, intriguing, efficient, well organised. So it's good to know that the programme is meeting the expectations of the student.
But I just want to say personally, thank you guys, seriously. Just the talent that comes out in the space of 2 days, really. In my eyes, there are absolutely no losers, and I'm being serious, there really are no losers. Each and every single one of you guys, you should be so unbelievably proud of yourselves. You guys are what makes this university amazing. You guys are the future, and one piece of advice, things will not always go your way. Don't ever stop believing, don't ever stop dreaming. Well done, guys.
And a couple of wee tips is, just come in, don't take yourself too serious. And it doesn't matter if you don't win, everyone's a winner. If you come, you're trying, and that's all that matters. And have a positive attitude.
So what you saw there was Alexandra actually in the Student Guidance Centre. That is our main hub. That's where we're based. That's where we have a lot of our events. That's where we'll have a lot of our presentations. And if you want to speak to someone, that's where you come. Insight into Management is really good fun. And it is one of those programs that everybody does actually keep in contact with after. And a lot of people, especially after with LinkedIn as well, and they've been able to use their employer contacts then after that as well. That is a good program, but you can only do it once. We have had people try to register and do it twice and do it 2 years in a row. You can't do that. You can only do it once. So just letting you know. Right, moving on to something else. You might come to Queen's and be quite specific in your degree subject or know exactly what you want to be doing, but maybe you'd like to diversify and try something else. So what we do throughout the year, we do 3 weeks of development weeks. Now, sometimes these are 3 weeks together, sometimes it's 1 week here and 2 weeks there. And what these are basically taster sessions where you can come and try something totally different. And it's a lovely way to get an idea of maybe something that you maybe didn't realize you could actually do. So for example, we've done language classes. We have put different subject groups together to get them to work on a task. I think we had a Lego challenge last year. And we do a lot of employer visits as well, what happened during development weeks. It really is a chance to try something totally new. And they're not all run by us. Some of them will be run by your academic teachers, and a lot are run by students. So a lot of students will say, I've had an idea. I want to have a go at this. And we'll say, okay, give us your proposal. Let us support you. And people will go and run with what they're doing. We've had people do archaeology digs. We've had people do stuff with environmental projects. So many things have happened during development weeks. It really is a chance to try something totally different. And I think I have a video on development weeks as well.
Development Weeks is a dedicated time in the academic year for students to take part in a wide range of extracurricular developmental activities. All students are encouraged to get out of their comfort zones and try something new.
So development weeks are something that's so important to the student experience, I think, just in terms of giving students not just the ability to go through their degree and pass their exams and get the grades they need, but also producing people who are more fully equipped with the skills we need in an ever-changing work environment. Events like this are such a critical part in making sure that we develop wholly rounded citizens that can go out into the world and make a real difference.
Well, there are two main ways that students can get involved. The first is to attend some of the many activities and events taking place, and the second is to run their own event.
I wanted to run this event just to show students how fun and relatively easy it can be to put together outreach events, particularly for people of a younger audience.
Being a PhD student, you know, it's all about research culture. So I was motivated to see something like this in the graduate school taking place. Also, as part of my role as a student officer in the Students' Union, I wanted to bring both undergraduates and postgrads together.
This is so exciting for me because the past couple of years in my role, I've spent creating and developing Queen's first student partnership framework. And it's all about really engaging students in their education. You know, education is what our students come here for at its most basic. So this project is really about showing our students how they can properly get involved and how they can have a real impact on their education.
It gives them kind of the ability to learn kind of those skills that I don't think comes across really in lectures. Like the ability to just own your own project, think through a thing, because a lot of people expect to be told what to do.
It's just a fun week to do something outside of your comfort zone, outside of the normal course, do something different, just doing something new, and having fun doing it along the way.
Development weeks, I think they are incredibly helpful. Employers nowadays are looking for any extracurricular skills, and showing that you're taking part in workshops and developing additional skills would boost your CV to stand out compared to other people.
I think the skills that I've learned is real confidence, because I'm able to go into interviews and speak about I was part of a team, we developed a product, we came across these challenges, we problem solved. So I feel like I've actually grew as a person.
So I think the key thing is like leadership and how that can impact on your future life. So when you're at school you learn how to work together, but you also have to learn how to work by yourself and kind of lead other people.
It seems nice to keep out because I've always found that uni finishes very early and the summer holidays is too long. So it's kind of nice that they run something to keep that give people an incentive to stick around a bit longer and like hang out, because I'm not from Belfast, I live in Scotland, so when I leave I'm going back. It's not like I can just come up to Belfast whenever I want, so giving people the initiative to hang around and still see them do things here and there, it just essentially elongates the year, making it more worthwhile.
Well, this is my first event during the week, but it definitely seems really interesting. From what I've seen today, it's definitely worth checking out.
Well, I think it's good that you can pick and choose what you want to attend and be involved in that really interests you to get something that's beneficial for your future and adds to your uni experience.
It's not in the moment, it's more when you look back and you've equipped yourself with those skills. And the Insight to Management course really did help support me during my university time, and when I graduated I got the degree plus route. Of course, when you're going to employers, they want to see what you're involved in. They want to know you can have the skills to multitask, not just do your degree, have a part-time job, do volunteer work. So it all kind of fits into the success of yourself.
Don't miss out on this wonderful range of developmental activities that are available to you. So bring some friends, share your experiences, but most of all, learn something new.
I love that Alexandra talked about insight into management again. She really, really did enjoy that programme. But it really is the idea that there's so much more that you could do. And we really genuinely don't want you to miss out on some stuff. I am going to pass you over to Sandra, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about meeting employers.
Thanks, Emma. Okay, so what you will have gathered from Emma there is that the employer is at the heart of everything that we do within careers, employability and skills. You come to university with the aim of getting a degree, and why you get a degree is because you want to land that big job at the end of it, as well as enjoying student life along the way. And my team have a remit, as I said, to outreach to employers. So we're the team that are on the ground, understanding what the employers want to see in their students as you come through, feeding that information back into the various schools and faculty so that can be transferred in, feeding that to the student development team careers so that they can have those particular programs that address some of those needs. But what we also do is we look for work experience, we look for the graduate jobs, and our interactions with employers then are encouraging them to take Queen's students on. And the good news is that Queen's students are very sought after. And we do find that that's an easy sell for our team because we have so many quality, exceptional students that go through us year on year. So I suppose your question would be, how do I get to meet these employers? How can I best present myself? How can I really get involved along the course of my studies to make sure that at the end of it, I do have a graduate job? And as you will have heard various different ways from Emma on the different programs, the employers come into campus, they may come into your lecture halls, they may come into the Student Guidance Centre. For all different reasons, they host events of their own. So we have employers, basically, we could fill events over and over again of the amount of employers that want access to you students. So I suppose the key differentiator for employers is students who have some element of work experience, and our programs and things are developed to give you that experience as well. But what my team work with is trying to actually source the experience within the companies themselves. So if you think about what that might look like, we look at internships. So that's you working for a short period of time in a particular company with a particular role and actually delivering for that company. You have part-time work, where sometimes that's where you might get on-campus work. We do have on-campus jobs, or you might be working part-time in another activity as part of your funding, maybe your studies or something like that. And that's all good experience too. Even if you're working in Tesco's, you're still getting an experience that actually gives you some kind of rapport with customers, interpersonal skills, whatever it might be. We do encourage volunteering. Volunteering is an excellent way to get your foot in the door of an organization. So if you're able to identify what that looks like and kind of make an approach for yourself, the team and careers will actually help you do that as well. And then there's self-employment. We work through the Students' Union. There's lots of activities there to help people become entrepreneurs, different things like that. But I suppose what you should know is that employer engagement don't work on their own. There's placement officers scattered across the university and the different schools. And you may find that your degree pathway has a placement year, and you will be out in working in industry for the full year of some of your studies. There may be an additional internship added on to the end of a particular year of your studies, which would cover you for the summer. We do internships as part of development weeks, where they're really short and snappy, and they're 1 or 2 3 weeks, and you just get to get a flavour of the organisation. We encourage different things online. There's one of the law firms that has work experience that you can log into just and do 2 days with them through their virtual platforms. So there's all different things that we're working with. And I suppose with any of these positions, they're all competitive. So what you should understand is that, it gives you the skill sets for future life as well. There will be an application process. All the jobs are advertised through the My Future program, which Emma outlined at the beginning of the platform. And basically, the competitiveness that we prepare you with put your CV together. We prepare you with the interviews and different things like that. And employers like to see that interaction, so it gives them a flavour for you before you get there. And sometimes placements, internships are the pipeline leading into the graduate job offer. So taking part in these activities throughout your studies, whether they're part of your degree or not, is always beneficial and will really stand you out from the other people who might not take this up. Our internship programme is also supported by Santander. And with Santander, they give the university funding so that we can support smaller companies to take on graduates who are students who might not be able to do that in any other way. And again, this is all about that kind of different projects that you might be, and we get requests from all sorts of types of companies, different sectors. So we might have an engineering project, or we might have the particular one at the minute is policy related marketing in the political arena. So there's lots of different from whatever degree pathway you're on. It's not always about the specific, like, let's go on and see how we can contribute to manufacturing and that type of thing. So I do have another short video, Radhika, if you can line that up for me, just to tell you and get a flavour of what internships mean.
For our students embarking on an internship, the benefits are huge. They get real-life industrial experience, project management experience of working with other people, working with a wide range of fabulous companies. Everything from startup companies like Brewbot right through to St Anne's Cathedral and the Upper Springfield Development Trust.
I found out about it on the My Future website. I'd set up a search and got emails through to my email account.
I found out about it on Queen's My Future. I was searching for summer jobs and internships, and this is one of the ones that came up, so I uploaded my CV and cover letter onto the system, and then I was called for interview after that.
Well, my role is communications development intern, so I do a lot of press releases, social media, blogs, marketing, branding.
My role is employee engagement intern, so that's basically it's sort of human resources, but it's focusing more on the welfare of staff in Upper Springfield Development Trust.
I'm creating educational resources for children, including school groups and self-guided visits from children with their parents.
I work alongside the employer engagement team at Queen's on the actual running of the Santander Internship programme, so managing the day-to-day duties, liaising with the employers and students, and just updating the information.
Being part of a small team it's been beneficial in terms of you get to be an integral part, and you get to do interesting and different things which you wouldn't otherwise get to do.
It's good to have this skill set so that I can go and put that on my CV and say, well, I've done this, I was part of something massive.
I think it will be something that will really stand out on my CV to employers as something different and put what I've learnt at university to the test in a real workplace. I would definitely recommend the internship scheme to other students because it's something that will stand out to employers, and it'll give you the opportunity to test out a few different job opportunities to see what you would like.
You gain experience, it's great to write on your CV, and you also gain financially as well from it.
It's definitely been such a help to my not only my CV and my skills, but my own self-confidence as well about applying to jobs.
Definitely do an internship, definitely do placement. It's the best bit of experience you'll ever have. Getting out there in the real world, it's invaluable, it really is.
Okay, so I hope that has given you a flavour of the different types of internships and how you can get involved in that. So what I would say is that whether it's part of your degree or a self-elected extracurricular activity, the university is there to support you. We have a joined up approach in making this happen for you. And I suppose that, it's there for the taking. So what I would say, if you come to Queen's, get involved, come meet the employers when they are on campus, take advantage, ask them questions, find out about their organisations, get involved with the programmes, get that experience, those additional skills. And at the end of it, the work experience will stand you in good stead for actually getting your graduate offers. So that's all for me. I'm now going to hand over to Rory for some insight into international opportunities.
Okay, thanks very much, Sandra. So at the start, I introduce myself. My name is Rory Mcgowan. I work within our Global Opportunities team. And I suppose just to give you a bit of insight into our department and our team, we are a team of 6 and we're based within the Career Service in the Student Guidance Centre. Our main aim and role is to encourage and support students that want to take up an international study or work abroad opportunity. And in terms of last year, we helped support over 800 students take part in a study or work abroad programme. In terms of what we do on a sort of day-to-day basis and throughout the academic year, we organise a range of activities and events. So our main event would be the Go Global Week in semester 1, where we have a range of information sessions, speakers, competitions, and it all culminates in an actual Go Global fair where exhibitors and organisations come along and speak with students about what programs and opportunities they have available. On a regular basis, we will have speakers and past participants on programs come along, and again, they would speak to current students about what they did in their experience, how they applied for it, how they funded it, and basically what they got out of it. On a weekly basis, we hold drop-in sessions, and the idea behind them is that on a Tuesday and a Thursday, students can come along and speak with myself or one of my colleagues about general sort of questions and information on programs, but it may go into specific details on application processes and funding opportunities. And throughout the year, we would work closely with students and promote opportunities as much as possible. So on a daily basis, I'll be speaking with students on phone, I'll be communicating by email, and basically just, as I said, at the start, supporting and advising them on the opportunities available. So in terms of today, I thought it'd be interesting if I shared a wee bit of detail and a wee bit of overview of some of the study and work abroad programs that we support and promote. So in terms of study abroad, our largest program is our Erasmus program, and this is an opportunity for students to spend either one semester or a full academic year studying in another European institution. So each school within Queen's will have a partnership or agreement with 1, 2, 3 different universities in Europe, and work closely with your Erasmus program director in your school. They'll be able to give you information and advice on what universities offer, what modules you could potentially consider doing while studying there, and some inside information into what the experience might look like. The Erasmus program itself is very heavily funded, and students would receive a bursary and funding to allow them to study in that European institution. The second study abroad program that I want to highlight is called Study USA, and this is an opportunity for Queen's students to spend their third year in a US university or college, and what you would study is business or business and STEM related subjects. And this is not just open to people who are currently or will be studying business or STEM subjects at Queen's. It is for people who have an interest in business or STEM related areas. And it's just a fantastic opportunity for students to, as I said, live in the US for a year, study in a different institution, a different learning environment, and basically pick up a lot of skills and an international experience that will ultimately help them within their career. The third program that I'd like to highlight is the Study China program. And this is a 3-week cultural immersion program. And it's an opportunity for Queen's students to explore Chinese life, Chinese culture, and develop their Chinese language skills and business awareness. And each year we would send approximately 40 students on this program, and the students come back and say, it was a great experience, they really enjoyed it, they got a lot out of it, and they made a lot of friends, not only within Queen's, but throughout different UK universities during their time in China. If I move on to some of the study work abroad programs that we support and promote, the first one that I want to highlight is the Washington Ireland program. This is a very prestigious leadership development program, and what it involves is residential training here in Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. Students then go out to the US and spend 2 months working and complete an internship in either New York or Washington DC, and then following that they come back and they continue to volunteer in their local communities. And the idea behind the program is that the skills, the experience they developed during their time on this program, they bring back and give back to the local communities and enhance what they're involved in. The second work abroad program I want to highlight is called IASTE. The official title is the International Association for the Exchange of Students for Technical Experience. So it's quite a mouthful, so it's commonly referred to as IASTE, and that's what it's known as. But it's basically a worldwide internship program for students that are studying STEM-related subject areas. And in terms of last year, we sent approximately 50 Queen's students to different parts of the world, and they completed internships in everywhere from Austria, Switzerland, China, Brazil, Bolivia, America, every corner of the world, from as little as 6 weeks right up to a year-long internship. And the idea behind that is that you go and you put into practice what you've learned at university. You work with international organizations or research bodies or university research labs and basically develop the skills that you have been learning at Queen's. The final program that I want to highlight within the work abroad section is a program called Generation UK. And this is a 2-month internship based in one of 6 locations in China. And the idea behind it is that you choose a location and a company or industry that you're interested in or that you're currently studying and it's related to your areas of study, and you develop your professional skills in an international environment and obviously have a fantastic experience in another country. This particular program is targeted towards students who are in receipt of a maintenance grant. So in this case, it's for those students who may not have the potential funding or would not consider themselves going on an international program. And on that point, it sort of leads me into sort of the idea of funding and how do students actually afford to go on these programs. What you'll find is with a lot of the program providers that we promote and we support, there is a lot of funding available. And also within the career service, we have a scholarship that students can apply for. And this would obviously go towards some of their subsistence, their travel costs, and take that burden, the financial burden off them. And obviously opens up these opportunities to a wider audience within university. So next slide, I want to draw your attention to another program that I coordinate alongside another careers consultant within the service, and it is called our Global Leadership Program. So this particular program is now in its 5th year, and we originally started off by taking a group of 25 students to Kuala Lumpur, and the following year we went to Hong Kong. 2 years ago we were in New York and Washington DC, and in May of 2019 we took a group of students to Toronto. The plan was for this year to go to San Francisco, but that has obviously been put on hold just due to the current situation. But the idea behind this program is to develop students' leadership skills within an international environment. We select approximately 25 students across all subject areas and all year groups within the university, and the students will go through a selective recruitment process and gather experience. Once on the program, we will have a range of on-campus training programs and workshops. And the idea behind that is that we will introduce them to a project and a theme. We'll get them to work in groups towards a business plan or social action plan to address that theme. And then they will go out on the international experience to meet with a range of alumni from Queen's, business professionals, and during that experience, they will develop their leadership skills, get insights into the theme that we have that particular year, and also get to see what a range of different international industries and working environments actually look like. And on return from the program, we will then get the students to pitch their ideas to a panel of experts, and we will have a number of networking events throughout the entire program. So as I said, it's a fantastic program to not only develop your leadership skills, but get international experience. And I think that Emma mentioned at the very start of her presentation that this is another program that allows you to meet students from other degree programs, which normally you wouldn't get the opportunity to do. You usually get to meet students from your own degree pathway, but we will have medical students meeting with and interacting with computer science students, with art students, with finance, and again, we'll have first years right up to PhD students taking part in this program. The final international program that I want to draw your attention to and just make you aware of is our Queen's New York Career Development Program. And this particular program is a spin-off from the leadership program in the sense that in 2018, when we went to New York, we met with a lot of alumni who requested that we bring a group of students back to meet with them again the following year. And in this particular program, what we have developed is a range of on-campus career development training sessions and workshops. The students then go out to New York and they meet with a range of alumni who are currently working for a range of high-profile companies. So we have alumni and contacts that work for KPMG, Twitter, Moet Hennessy. We have film producers. We meet with individuals from the British and Irish consulates. And the idea behind this program is that the students from different subject areas meet with professionals and alumni who have developed successful careers. They get industry awareness, they develop a range of different professional and personal skills during this program, and then they come back to Queen's more enthused and more informed, so they can sort of make more informed career decisions. So my advice for students that are coming to Queen's is, in terms of global opportunity, come and see us early in semester 1. Have a chat with us to get an overview and some insights into the programs that we offer. Speak with us, and then we'll be able to introduce you to students that have participated in these programs, and they'll be able to give you sort of first-hand information on what they did during their experiences, what it was like to live and work in the US or China, and basically then make a decision on what you want to do in terms of international opportunities. So we have examples of students that have maybe completed a summer camp in America in the first year, have then went to complete study China the following year, then completed an Erasmus program in the third year, and then gained international internships in the US in the final year, and are now sort of working internationally or for an international company. So I just want to finish off my part of the presentation. Radhika, if you could play the video on New York program. Okay guys, so that was just basically an overview of what the students did during their trip to New York. And interesting enough, the film itself, or the video itself, was produced by a film and theatre student that participated in the programme. So it's a very, very slick sort of video that we use to promote it to students. Something that Emma mentioned earlier on was development weeks, and as part of that programme and a lot of other programmes, we asked students to come back and share what they did and what they learned on their programme during development weeks. So that's another task that we give the students. So at this stage, I want to pass you back to Emma.
Hiya. Rory definitely gets some of the best jobs to do. So that's why we're talking to you now, so that you can build on year your experience. So there's no point coming to us again at the end saying, I didn't know this was available. So start out small. And if you get the opportunity, I was a student at Queen's, I got to go abroad when I was there. Please do it. Seriously, you will not regret it. So say you spent all this time getting all this experience, you've got in touch with a career consultant, you've done some of our programs, you've got the skills, you're good to go. How does all this career planning actually get you a job at the end? One of the best ways of meeting employers and selling your skill set is to go to one of our big employer recruitment events. So there are 3 large events which Careers, Employability and Skills will support. The ones for all subjects are the Graduate Recruitment and Placement Fair at the start of the year, the Work Experience and Placement Fair, which happens around January, Christmas time, and then the Northern Ireland Graduate Recruitment Fair at the end of the year. These are brilliant opportunities to come and actually speak to employers and sell your skill set. What you might find as well is that there will be school and subject specific mini fairs which happen throughout the year. So for example, ECS or History and Anthropology both had their own mini fairs, and they will bring very, very specific employers to them. But why should you go to one of these fairs? It's a really good way to talk to potential local employers. Maybe people that you hadn't thought of before, and you get to speak to them and make contacts with them. We will have workshops which will happen at the same time as these fairs, so you'll be able to find out a bit more about interview techniques or what an assessment centre looks like, and there's lots of free information when you get there. You can get your CV reviewed, so you can bring your CV with you. We will run appointments, and the careers consultants will be there, and you can get someone to look at your CV. You can get interview practice and confidence building. It takes a lot of guts to walk up to an employer, introduce yourself, and then ask about what they could offer you as a graduate. So it's really something to boost your confidence. If you go for the first time in first year to get used to it, by the time you get to third year when you're actively looking for those positions, it's not nerve-wracking at all because you've practiced. You can also find out more about job opportunities in your industry. Perhaps you had an idea if I want to work for one particular company in one particular area. You might come along to one of these and find out, actually, I didn't realize that that company did the same thing, especially when you find out how many companies want to recruit from any degree discipline. So some people will say, why would I go? That's not for my subject. But so many employers want that skill set. As I say, I did English and history of art, and I have worked for a lot of different companies that I probably would have been put off had I not spoken to them in person. They wanted my skill set and they wanted what I had. So I think I have a video, Radhika, about the Graduate Recruitment and Placement Fair. If you wouldn't mind playing it for me, please.
Queen's has an excellent reputation both as a research and a teaching university, and this event has given employers great access to some of the most talented, highly motivated and capable people that are really going to become the leaders of our future.
Queen's is well recognised as a sort of high-class facility, so we know when we come here we're getting something that's traditional, it's embedded, and they're good teaching.
It's confident, resourceful people that we're looking for as well, and they tend to come from establishments like Queen's.
The courses are very relevant to the engineering industry specifically, and they're just very engaged and very hard-working students.
The benefits of coming here for KPMG are huge. You know, you're taking from the best talent pool of graduates. You know, people out there from strong degree backgrounds, and that's exactly what we're looking for in our graduate intake.
I think there are huge benefits for a company like ours. We've been in existence for something like 75 years, but that can't happen unless every year, every few years, we have We have fresh people with new ideas, with new ways of doing things. That's why we're very open to graduates.
So over the 3 days of the fair this year, we're expecting over 4,000 students from across our 20 different schools within the university.
I've just finished the Masters in Legal Science here at Queen's, and I've come to the fair to find out what opportunities there are for me.
I came to the careers fair just to meet all the companies, people who actually work at the company and hear their experience.
It's good to see what your options are and be able to talk to people directly about it, yeah.
It shows you all the different range of companies, IT, finance, engineering, loads of disciplines.
Not only do you get to meet people that are coming from these companies, you get to get an idea of what you need to do to actually get this employment. So I think this is probably one of the best ways to kind of get that information that you need.
It's an excellent opportunity, having the chance to talk to these people face to face and ask the questions that you've previously only been able to speculate about and get real, concrete answers, just to lay down why you should apply to these people and, what benefits you'd get in return for it.
I walked in just having a nosy and I was talking to the Jameson people and the Paddy Power people. That's things I never would have came across,
And that's why careers fairs are so good. You learn so much more than you see on the internet and face value.
Definitely recommend coming to the careers fair. It's a really good way to learn and it's a very useful event.
We have definitely spoken to over 100 students at this desk. There were students in behind those that we were talking to, so potentially more than that.
Well, there's been hundreds through the door. There's been a great footfall coming past the stand, really, and we've been just trying to talk to as many as we can. But it's been a great day overall.
I wouldn't like to count. There was hundreds, and that's one of the good things about having fairs like this, that you bring in lots of people, so you see, the footfall's fantastic footfall, tremendous.
So getting involved with the programs that Rory and Sandra and I have all talked about give you that confidence then to go to these employers at the end of your time at Queen's and approach them with knowing that you have the skills and that you're going to be beneficial to their company and you know exactly who you want to target and that it can work together. That's the point. So I'm a little bit excited. What I'm going to do is, if you are interested in anything more specific, do have a look at our website. It covers a lot more of what Rory was talking about and a lot more of what Sandra was talking about. You can also find in the top section, in the top right-hand corner, it says more options. If you go to that, you can find information about your specific skill, so your specific subject, and the sector that you're interested in. So obviously some people are going to have very specific questions because they're studying a particular subject. What you can do is go on there, find your skill, find what you're interested in, and then you'll be able to find out where people who have done your course have gone before, different employers who have looked at them, different resources that are available for those particular students. If you're interested in a particular sector, maybe you don't have a particular subject as such, but you're interested in, maybe charity work or heritage and culture, you can have a look there and see what employers are currently looking for. It's a really, really good resource. If you do get stuck at all with a really specific question, you can go to careers@qub.ac.uk and we'll try and get back to you as well. And we really do look forward to working with you. It's lovely to see students come in first year, go out in third year and come back to us as alumni and encourage other students to then go and fulfill their potential. We really do love to see students doing their best.
have any questions, now is the time. So the first question I have is a student who has said that they have applied for the course of International Politics and Conflict Studies. Is there a possibility to change the course? I'm going to answer this one. So the team today are responsible for careers and employment services. So the forum to ask this question would be in an admissions forum. So I would recommend that you perhaps contact our admissions team and they will be able to help you out. Moving on to the next question. Is there a possibility to connect one-to-one with a career advisor from the faculty of HAP?
Yes, absolutely. As a registered student of Queen's, you can make appointments through My Future at a time that suits you. So you can log on, you can book the time, that's absolutely fine. We do 15-minute CV checks or 30-minute career consultations. As I say, we do look at the specific subject, specific faculty as well, so you'll get to speak to someone who knows a little bit about it. And students have about 5 appointments a year. Now, we find that not everyone uses all of their appointments. Some people need more support than others. That is definitely an option available.
Excellent, thank you, Emma. The next question is, during quarantine, I'm having a work from home internship at a startup. Will that be of any help for programs like the Queen's Global Leadership Program?
Okay, so I'll answer this question. In terms of application process for the Global Leadership Program, this year we asked for a CV application and a cover letter, and in that we are looking for students to basically express an interest in the program, the theme and the activities that the students are going to be taking part in. We're also looking to see a wide range of professional, personal, technical skills that students can bring to the program. And certainly having a virtual internship will obviously sort of enhance your CV and your skill set, and it would be something I would definitely recommend that students highlight in not only the leadership application, but certainly in other applications as well.
Thank you, Rory. The next question is, what are the benefits of international study and working abroad?
Okay, so I'll come back to that one as well. It's a very, very good question. So I suppose I'm going to make reference to some of the skills that Emma touched at the start of the presentation. So in terms of international study or work abroad, you'll develop a whole range of problem-solving skills. So that is not only problem-solving skills within the study or work opportunity, but also problem-solving skills within the sort of different city or different location or different country, getting used to the transport system, getting used to the different currency, getting used to different sort of cultural etiquettes. Certainly, you'll develop a range of communication skills. So in terms of adapting to a new or a language that you have a partial awareness of, speaking with colleagues and communicating with colleagues in a professional environment, but also in a sort of informal social environment. You'll develop your interpersonal skills within sort of study and work abroad, and students will generally always develop a lot of technical skills. So we're hearing a lot of people using Slack and Zoom in webinars and conference calls now, but these are platforms that students were telling me about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So they do develop a lot of technical skills during these experiences. They also get the opportunity to develop commercial and industry awareness, and in some cases it confirms this is the career path that they want to do. But then in other cases, students maybe complete an international work experience abroad and think, well, there's possibly other areas I want to review and gain more experience of. And then just on a personal level, what you get out of an international study or work abroad is, it's fun. In some cases, students will say, it was the highlight of their year or the highlight of their university experience. It'll certainly enhance their university experience, and they'll develop a lot of sort of friendships and networks which they can use in the future, whether it be on a professional level if they're looking to apply for jobs, but also on a personal level if they want to go back to China or America for holidays, and invite those friends over to Northern Ireland to see them. So yes, there's a wide range of sort of personal, professional, technical skills that students develop through these experiences.
Can I reinforce that what Rory said as well? When I was a student at Queen's, I spent some time study abroad in Denmark, and I worked a little bit when I was there, but it gave me the confidence that when I graduated, I actually applied for work in Japan, and I went and worked in Japan for 1.5 years. And everything Rory has said, absolutely true, to the point of we have now hosted Japanese friends back here in Northern Ireland, and it gives you that confidence as well to go. I would never go for that opportunity. I would assumed it was too far away, but because I'd had like the trial one with Queen's with that confidence building, absolutely, definitely go for it. Absolutely go for it.
I think the one thing I would add to all of this really is, you develop an appreciation for another culture, and you develop, a flexible attitude, particularly because if you're working abroad, and I've worked abroad, not as a student, more as a professional, but I think what you learn is that working practices sometimes vary so much from continent to continent, country to country. How you interact with colleagues is very different to how you would, say, in Europe to somewhere in Asia. And you learn to appreciate those little differences, those cultural differences, which from a business point of view are actually so very important. So yes, I will really reinforce exactly what Emma and Rory are saying, and say, take up those experiences. They're going to stand you in good stead. Moving on to, thank you, both of you. Moving on to the next question. For the New York Development Program, how many applicants are normally, how many applicants are there normally, and for how many places, and how long does the trip last? Another one, Rory?
Yeah, no problem. So the programs that I mentioned today was an overview of the programs, and each of them will have their own sort of selection and recruitment eligibility. This particular program, there were 10 places on offer this year, and we offered it to undergraduate students, and the program itself had 2 days of on-campus workshops, and then it had a week-long trip. So we flew out to New York on the Saturday, and the students had Saturday, Sunday to acclimatise and see the sites, and then following Monday to Friday included approximately 8 to 10 business visits, as well as a networking and social evening. And then on the Friday, we finished off with more free time and sort of a tour of the city. And then the Saturday, the students had some time themselves just to, in a group or individually, just go and sort of do their last minute shopping. But as I say, Emma made reference to the website. So each of the programs, the detail, the selection processes, and the eligibility criteria is on there. So it's probably have a look at there and see if you are eligible and what the criteria is. And if there's any questions, when you come speak to us, we'll be more than happy to answer those.
Thank you, Rory. The next question, I think, is for Emma, and is the career service something we have access to after we finish our undergraduate degree? Emma, I'm sure you've got something to say about that.
Oh yeah, we don't just chuck you out whenever you're finished. That's not a problem. You can come back to us up to 2 years after you graduate. So we have had people who have gone and they've taken some time out after they've graduated, and they've come back to us with a bit more focus and said, like, where do I go from now? So yes, we are available. That's not a problem.
Excellent. And obviously the support is available throughout the duration of their course from pretty much from day one.
Yeah, that's not a problem. From day one, you come in, we're there to help you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Emma. The next one is, when is the best time to complete an international experience? How do you fit it into your degree, I guess, is the question. And when's the best time?
Yes, so I would encourage students to come and either speak with our members of our team, or else come along to one of our information sessions or events, and basically start to build up that awareness of what is on offer, when an application dates, what are the process. And the earlier you can do that, the better, because let's say we have examples of students that are serial travelers and studying work abroad ambassadors, because they maybe did a short program in first year and then got the taste for it, the confidence and the enthusiasm to complete all their programs. So you may find students that have went to Europe, China, America, basically different parts of the world for different opportunities. And the more of these experiences you do, the more confident you are in your application. And with more experience, your applications tend to be stronger as well. You have more examples, you have more experience that you can share during an application form or even during an interview.
Right, this is a very lovely message to all the presenters. Thank you very much, very interesting. So there you are, guys. Thank you very, very much for that. The next question is, would there be any chances to study abroad in the USA, for example, for subjects other than business and STEM?
So again, just touching on that there is a range of exchange programs open to students. And within the career service, we manage two. So we manage an exchange program in Canada and Australia, and typically 10 students would be selected to go on either a semester or academic year in one of these two locations. However, within each of the schools, they do also organize their own exchange programs. And on the school websites, or even on the Global Opportunities website, you will be able to view the list of opportunities that are available. So for example, within, let me just very quickly. So if we look within archaeology, arts, English and languages, they have exchange programs within Canada. So the University of New Brunswick, arts, English and languages have exchange programs within the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Let me see, there's a few more in terms of North America. So geography have an exchange program, within North America, within Canada. History have a number of US exchange programs, so South Carolina, Springfield, San Antonio. Those programs, as I said, are organized at a school level, and they would be responsible for the selection and recruitment for those exchanges, and also the details in terms of eligibility.
So really, Rory, then what you're trying to say is, sort of going back to your presentation, these are just some very specialist programs that we offer to our students, which is in conjunction with Study USA, isn't it? And but each school and each department has individual partners that you can access, and that gives you a wealth of partners and potential countries that you could visit for a semester abroad.
Yes, so the example of Study USA is it's organized and funded through the Department for Education, Department for the Economy, whereas other schools may have their own exchange programs which are developed through academic partnerships and research partnerships. So the reason why schools organize them is that they have that very specific knowledge in terms of what modules students would be doing at Queen's and what they potentially would do in university in America, so that they align very closely.
Super, thank you. The next question I have is from someone who knows what they want to do when they finish university, and they want to know whether it's worth making an appointment with a careers advisor whilst at university.
Absolutely. We love people who know exactly where they want to go, how they're going to get there. It's all about making sure that you actually are able to do that. So things like getting you better connections with an employer, if we have knowledge of an internship or a connection that we can get you some experience there. The bit that people trip up sometimes is on their interviews. So we will run mock interviews. You tell us who you want to apply for and what the position is. We will get some questions going. We will run you through a mock interview, give you feedback. The idea is you make your mistakes with us, and it doesn't cost you a job. So when you actually present yourself to the employer, then you know exactly what you want to do. So it's always worth coming and seeing how else can you add to your CV? How can you show yourself as a rounded person? What's that employer looking for now? And how to make sure you're up to date on what the industry is at the minute. So absolutely, yes, we're available for people who know exactly what they want to do as well.
Thank you, Emma. And I think potentially the next question might be for you as well. The programs look great, but I'm quite shy. So I'm nervous about getting involved. What do I do? How should I approach you?
Oh goodness, right, don't panic. We don't bite. First thing to do is have a look at the stuff on the website, okay? So you have a little bit idea of what you're doing. If you want to come and meet us one-to-one first, that's absolutely fine. We can talk you through some stuff. With the programs as well, it depends on the program and how much you want to get involved with it. Some of the programs, some people are very confident, they're very loud, let them tear on, that's their thing. Other people, they take a bit of a back seat, but they're real thinkers and they can process all the information and bring it to the group. Different people have different skills within a team, and we do encourage that as well. Like, not everybody's up at the front, but it's something, you know, do come, do challenge yourself. We're never going to ask you to do something that you don't want to do, but you would be surprised the number of shy people who end up winning like the auction at Insight into Management, and lovely to see people develop through that. So yeah, come and give it a go with careers before you try it. Well,
thank you, Emma. Next question: what type of campus jobs are on offer?
I'll take that one. So on-campus jobs basically means anything that is available on campus, either through the university. So that could be anything. Student union, could be in accommodation, could be with ourselves in the Student Guidance Centre. We have student assistants who man the kind of area where students drop in and out of. So they're there to provide advice and different things, and that's all managed. As a student, you are only permitted to work so many hours, so that it doesn't kind of affect your well-being or student life, or your degree for that matter. So we also keep an eye on that. So they are all advertised through My Future. So if you're interested in on-campus jobs, that's the best route to kind of get registered and put yourself forward for some of those.
Actually, look at that. That's Sandra. So our team, which is domestic recruitment and events, we would potentially go to someone like Sandra and say to her that, look, we're looking for students to help us run our campus tours. We're looking for students to help out at open days. We're looking for students maybe to come and join us at exhibitions and talk about their experiences. And I suspect they would also be sort of come under the campus jobs category, wouldn't it, Sandra?
Absolutely. Fairs, any events that are on site, anything at all that is for the university that we need extra resources for, that's where it goes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. The next question is, and this is quite a good one, for the Global Leadership Programme, does it matter what subject you're studying in order to join? Rory?
I can answer that. No, we, as I say, each year we recruit or select 25 students, and it is from a whole range of different subject areas and also year groups. So what I suppose one of the highlights of the program is to see humanities students working with a science student, and because they are working on a project, you're bringing all these different sort of ways of thinking, different approaches, and it's a very collaborative way of working on a project. And I suppose it reflects one way, with potential workplaces, because people coming from different backgrounds, different levels of subject knowledge, and getting them to work together, coming up with ideas, and it really adds to it. We do have sort of restrictions in place for the program so that we're not inundated with just one specific subject area. We've never actually had to use this sort of that process, but we've always found that we've had a very good mix of subject areas and different year groups, and that's what's really added to the program.
Excellent, thank you for that, Rory. We're just going to take a couple more questions and finish off. So the penultimate question is, would it be possible to have one-to-one sessions during the 2 years after you graduate, even if you're no longer living in Belfast, for example, online?
So what we've had to do with that is, yes, sometimes we have to Skype people, especially for international students or for students who have returned back to GB. That's no problem. You'll still have access to My Future. That's the key thing. So you can make appointments through My Future. Someone will get in contact with you, and we will arrange a time that it's possible to meet like this. Okay, so yes, so that does still exist. That's not a problem.
Great, thank you, Emma. And I'm going to ask the last question now, which is, I have no idea what I want to do. Would a careers advisor be able to help me out at all?
Yes, that's what we're here for. That's the point. Come and chat to us, okay? You will be surprised the number of people are in the exact same position that you are in. Come and chat to us, and we'll talk about what things you've done before, what you're passionate about, what you really enjoyed in, what you don't like, what you've definitely ruled out, what your strengths are, what you maybe need to work on. We'll talk about any gaps. We'll look at, if you had to put a CV together, what could you put in it? We'll look at how to sort of bridge some of those gaps and start to just move forward. And once you start to move, you can see what the direction you can go in. We can narrow down the field for you. Yes, please come and chat to us. That's the point. Now, we don't have all the magic answers, okay? Eyeballs, not crystal balls. So we can do our absolute best for you. But yeah, no, please. I mean, that's what we're here for. We don't want anyone panicking or getting stressed about something. If we can help them.
Super. Well, on that note, I think I will say thank you to all the presenters, but my colleague Raymond is going to come in and do the official closing.
Yeah, thank you, Radhika, and thank you to Rory, to Emma, and to Sandra for such a wonderfully informative session there. It was absolutely brilliant. I guess the main takeaway message is go see the career service team. They are there to help you, and they're there to help you from day one. So get engaged with them straight away whenever you join university, and they will be able to map out a career path for you. Really great presentation there. Just to finish off, we will be sending up follow-up emails from this seminar, and that will give you an opportunity to rewatch it. And we also will be letting you know about the upcoming events that we're having. So just to remind you again, we have a Disability and Wellbeing Services event this Thursday, which you can register for. And towards the end of the week, you'll be able to register for our Students' Union webinar and also our Introduction to Student Life at Queen's, which will both be hosted here next week. Thank you once again to everyone that participated, and we hope to see you all soon. Thank you.